All right, so even though I posted all that stuff in this playlist of like me checking with the cops, so it literally doesn't exist. But on top of that, I went and got a polygraph because I'm going to live in this community, and you know, if anything, you know what I'm saying, I'd want to know that. So I went and got a polygraph at this place called Jerry Polygraph in San Diego. It's a real place. I paid real money, take a real test, and I'm going to display it next to me right here. I'm just going to go over it, but whatever. Has one of them is, have you downloaded pornography of any minors? No. Response, no. And question 2. By the way, they can only do 4 questions on these things because after that, the guy was explaining to me, I guess, like the polygraph loses, you know, its superpowers or whatever, because I guess you become more relaxed or something. So he said 4 questions is like the cap. And there are lots of rumors to address, so I just addressed some. In the next video, I kind of mentioned some others because I didn't know everything that was being said about me. I just knew people in the community were doing a bunch of shady shit to me. The second one is, have you committed any hate crimes? People were saying that I committed a hate crime towards like a trans person or a gay person or what have you. Complete fabrication. They just needed me to be a fucking demon, you know? So they just started making up all these fucking stories to cover their ass. The second one, have you ever tried to kill President Bush Jr.? The reason why I had to have this, people were saying that I made a threat towards him with like a t-shirt back in 2003, and that's why, you know, this was happening. They just invent stories, or they tell other people who they know will like get all amped up, like LGBT people, fucking parents, you know, if they think I'm a fucking child predator. Lots of people from the Freemason community from here, Texas, or whatever, get all charged up. They're part of that whole Bushy crew, like, you know what I'm saying, fucking groupies. But I couldn't say threat because polygraphs don't handle gray areas. You have to say a definitive. And so he told me if I made a threat towards somebody, if I mentioned kill, it would still show up because my brain is still registering it as an honest emotion, like my intentions or whatever. So that's why it says, did you ever try to kill President Bush? But it was because I couldn't say threat. The only way to make this register is to see if I'm telling the truth or not. And then people were saying that like I was having sex with these minors and I had like a kid with some girl who was a teenager and I was an adult, like just crazy stories. And so the last one is, as an adult, have you ever had sexual contact with minors? And that's no. You scroll to the bottom here, it says results, no significant reactions, truthful. Mr. Beckman's physiological responses to the relevant questions were consistent with a person telling the truth. And then this is Sean Thurman. And I didn't even know, hey, I got the guy who's the head of the entire state of California to do my polygraph. He's like the big cheese if you're going to get a polygraph license or whatever. So, yeah, that's my polygraph. Go on to the next video for all the other bullshit.